In the following video, a group of innocent people were trying to make sense of what they're seeing after the atmosphere in the room completely changed. The door was shaking earlier, and the second they started recording, it suddenly goes still, almost like whatever was there was listening.
So we are all sitting here, enjoying our Taco Bell, right? And Ghost Malone was over there shaking the door a second ago. Ghost Malone, if you are still around, do something.
It was a sign.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her.
Nonchalant. Alright, so ironically, I'm watching Ghostbusters, right? Ghost Malone. Ghosty. Yo. Are you kidding? Alright, so I've been asking Ghost Malone some questions. Okay, so one time if you're there, 2 times, or I guess no times if you're not. Definitely there, okay. Are you friendly? Okay, okay. Do you like Ghostbusters? No? Okay, do you like movies? Okay, okay. And just on Ghostbusters, I guess it's insulting. Are you here to cause harm? Okay. Okay. Man, I wish I knew Morse code. We'd try that. Are you an older spirit? Okay, but not a bad spirit. Okay. Is there more than one of you? Oh, okay.
One of them nervously asks if it's still around, and that's when a small child's toy car slowly rolls across the floor on its own, stopping just as quickly as it started. The mood flips from laughter to shock instantly. They begin talking to it calmly, asking simple questions, and almost immediately, a painting on the wall starts to move, tilting forward and lifting slightly as if being pushed from behind. Realizing it might be responding, they start using the painting as a way to communicate, asking yes or no questions, and watching it shift each time. Over the course of the clip, they figure out whatever is there doesn't seem hostile, just curious, and oddly specific, reacting negatively when Ghostbusters is mentioned, but calming down again moments later. By the end, they're convinced this isn't just one presence either, since the ghost claimed to have an accomplice. People were quick to question why everyone seemed so calm during the first encounter, almost accusing them of downplaying what happened. Instead of arguing back, the man behind the camera decided to do the opposite and returned to the room alone to see if whatever was there would respond again.
So, a couple weird things have happened tonight, like my mom's painting over there has moved. And Ghosty. Ghost Malone. You there? Don't judge the trash. It's trash day. Ghosty. Okay. Maxie, what was that? Huh? So we're sitting here. Revelation here, is it?
Hi, Maxie.
It should also be noted that we've had several offers from paranormal people to come here and whatnot. We're down. But there's been a few of them that are private profiles, minus the big ones you guys have suggested. Nobody's reached out, but I don't know. I might take offers for people to just come stay the night so you can see whether it's real or not for yourself. I don't know. But yeah, I am gonna take a list of questions. I've been writing down in the comments all the questions you guys have for Ghost Malone, and then we're gonna do the Stranger Things light or dog button things to see if that does anything.
The house is quiet now, no nervous laughter, no group energy, just him speaking carefully into the empty space, asking if the presence is still around. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, without warning, a large baby playpen sitting across the room begins to slide across the floor on its own, It moves slowly but deliberately, scraping loudly as it shifts several feet with no one touching it. The man backs away in shock, clearly shaken now that there's no one else there to share the moment with. He later explained that this wasn't an isolated event either. Multiple paranormal investigators have since visited the house, documenting repeated activity and ruling out natural causes. Despite their efforts, nothing has stopped what's happening, and the family has made it clear that if the experts can't put an end to it, they're moving out for good. Whatever is in that house clearly has no interest in being ignored, no matter if it has good intentions. Moving into a new house is already daunting enough, but for Kyle, that feeling didn't last long at all. He'd only just bought the place and was walking through it for the first time properly, filming on his phone while the rooms were still empty and undecorated. It was meant to be a simple walkthrough, nothing dramatic, just getting familiar with the layout, but the house clearly had other plans.
I was moving into my new house. I was alone, and this happened. Good luck to me.
As Kyle pans down the long corridor, the lights begin turning themselves on and off, one by one, flickering in a slow, deliberate pattern that doesn't look like a wiring issue at all. At the far end of the hallway, a door starts to close on its own, inch by inch, until it's almost fully shut. Kyle walks toward it, clearly uneasy, and pushes to open it again. The moment he tries, he pauses. Something on the other side is pushing back. You can hear it in his voice as he strains, confused, wondering if anyone's there. After a few seconds, the resistance suddenly stops, and he manages to force the door open. He steps inside, filming the entire time, only to find an empty room. No people, no animals, no explanation. For a house that was supposed to be a fresh start, it didn't waste any time letting him know he might not be alone there at all. Things only escalate from there.
What the F is going on? Things are going crazy now.
As Kyle moves further into the house, another door suddenly starts rattling aggressively in front of him, shaking in its frame like something on the other side is trying to force its way out. He hesitates, then pushes it open, only to step into the next room and realize it's happening again. This time, a sliding door inside the corridor begins opening and closing by itself, gliding back and forth with no one touching it. The movement is steady and deliberate, not random. Kyle keeps filming, clearly shaken now, when something else catches his eye. A doll sitting in the room shifts on its own. He doesn't touch it, doesn't go near it, but it moves anyway, just enough to make it unmistakable. At that point, the excitement in his voice is gone, replaced with pure unease. Whatever is in this house seems to be reacting to him room by room, almost guiding him deeper inside. For a place he just moved into, the activity is immediate and relentless, and Kyle realizes this new house isn't just unsettling, it might actually be dangerous if he stays. The Martin house has a reputation for child sightings, with locals claiming they've seen figures in the upper windows for years, despite the place being completely abandoned. In this clip, a woman just happens to be driving past when she remembers the stories and decides to pull over and film from a distance, more out of curiosity than anything else.
This is the Martin house. Haunted. Panama City, Florida, my first book. And I'm just driving by randomly. Look in the window. Please, somebody tell me you see what I'm seeing. A child. He supposedly, maybe, we're not sure. Stories have changed over the years. Man went crazy and killed his entire family after finding out his wife was cheating with the servant. Hung the servant on a tree that used to be in the front yard that the hurricane took out. But the stories are that the children can be seen. I see a kid. Fuck.
As she zooms in on the top floor, a small, childlike figure can be seen standing in one of the windows, staring outward. What makes it especially unsettling is how unnatural it looks. The figure doesn't move at all, not even slightly, almost like it's frozen in place. There are no lights on inside the house, no signs of anyone living there, and according to locals, nobody has for a long time. The woman stays filming for a moment, clearly confused, before slowly backing away and getting back in her car once the footage ends. Later, people pointed out that the figure looks too realistic to be a decoration, but too still to be a real person, which only adds to the mystery. For a house already known for reports of child apparitions, this sighting just made its reputation even harder to ignore. In this clip, security camera footage from inside a family's room captures something that quickly spiraled from unsettling to outright disturbing. The camera shows the room late at night with no one inside, while small orbs drift through the air, floating in irregular patterns. What makes it stranger is that the camera itself keeps rotating slightly, almost as if it's tracking the movement of the orbs rather than randomly shifting. Each time the camera settles, it keeps landing back on a doll sitting upright on a chair in the corner of the room, and every time it does, the doll appears to have changed position just slightly. Its head tilts, its body slumps, then straightens again in ways that don't look like simple camera glitches. Over the course of the footage, the movements become more noticeable, subtle but intentional enough to raise alarms. The Fodder family said they hadn't touched the doll at all that night, and no one was home when this was recorded. After reviewing the footage and noticing how often the activity seemed centered around it, they didn't want to take any chances. The next day, they removed the doll from the house entirely and threw it out with the trash, saying it felt less like a toy and more like something that was watching back. In the following video, two men are out late at night filming along a quiet road, one of them sweeping a flashlight across the darkness while the other keeps the camera steady. The place feels empty and still until something at the far end of the road catches their attention. It's shaped like a person, standing in a way that looks almost human, but not quite right, too stiff and uncanny to make sense.
¿No? Sí. Tengo una lamparota super expandex. Ah, bueno, tú tienes tu luz azul. ¿Qué?
Güey, ese es el velador de...
Es el velador, ¿no? ¡Ah, velador! ¡Ey! ¡Velador!
Aguanta, aguanta, espérate, ey. Shh, no te muevas.
Güey,
No mames, no te muevas ahí. Güey,
¿velador?
ese no es el velador, güey.
Güey, no es el velador. Sí,
No.
Yo también pensaba que era el velador.
No, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón, perdón. ¡Uy! Se me cayó algo, güey. ¿Qué se me cayó? A la verga. Sentí que se me cayó mi cartera, pero no. ¡Hola! No digas cosas. No, 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 no. Güey, ¿fue aquí? No digas mamadas, güey. Buenas, velador. No mames, no mames. Esta madre no pudo haber salido, está con reja. Está con reja, güey. No digas mamadas, güey. No digas mamadas, Joe. Miren. No digas mamadas, güey.
Yo la vi moverse, güey.
No, 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 Joe. No, 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 no. No, güey, no mames.
¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé, no sé, no sé.
No mames, güey. No mames, no mames, no mames.
¿Crees que haya sido ella?
Güey, nos estamos metiendo más adentro del reino más. Banda, comparte.
No mames, güey, no mames.
Parece que los ojos te miran, ¿verdad?
Pareciera, pero no creo, güey. Güey, es que qué pedo, güey. Hola. Tú te moviste. Tú fuiste la que se movió. ¿Es así? No mames, güey.
Me voy a acercar tantito.
¿Tú fuiste la que se movió, mujer?
Voy a grabar sus
A ver, güey.
Siempre dicen que hay que...
Güey, es que era el vestido también así, güey.
¿Verdad?
Amarillo.
Yo pensé que era el velador, te lo juro, hermano. Pero
Yo también,
qué
güey.
bueno que me detuviste.
No, güey, no era el velador, mira. Blancanieves.
Blancanieves.
Ay, güey, dime que no era cierto, güey. No mames, güey.
Qué miedo, qué miedo.
Miren. Pero es que, güey, no creo que haya sido ella, güey, mira. Porque no se puede ni sostener esto, güey. Mira, y aparte está muy rompido todo, mira.
Sí, no, o sea, está hecha de fibra de
No mames, güey.
Pero ella no se puede mover.
Sería ella.
No tiene brazo, además.
Güey, porque yo no miro a nadie más, güey.
They zoom in as much as they can, whispering back and forth, trying to work out if it's someone standing there or something else entirely. The figure doesn't move at first, just stays there facing in the right direction, before slowly slipping behind a wall at the edge of the road. Both men panic and sprint forward, convinced they'll catch whoever it is. But when they reach the spot, there's nothing. No footsteps, no place it could have run, nowhere to hide. After searching the area with the flashlight, they finally spot a strange mannequin positioned nearby, its posture eerily similar to what they saw from a distance. Up close, it's completely motionless, just a lifeless prop. Still, the timing and placement make it hard to shake the feeling that something wasn't right, and they leave unsure whether they really saw a trick of the light or something that moved when they weren't close enough to prove it. Steve was out motorbiking alone as daylight started to fade, filming casually as he followed a narrow trail through the wilderness. At first, it just felt eerie in the normal way remote places do at dusk, until he began noticing bones scattered along the path, bleached white and unnaturally clustered. That's when the atmosphere shifted. The forest went dead quiet. No insects, no wind, no distant animals, just the sound of his engine cutting through an uncomfortable silence.
Just wait till the
I don't
end.
like this at all. Oh god, there's even more bones than last time. Looks like we've already passed it a while ago, but that tree is gone. I'm probably gonna turn around soon. Oh, there's two ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail goes on forever. It just got really quiet really fast. you to leave.
What was this?
The trail soon split into two directions, and Steve slowed down, hesitating as he tried to decide which way to go. As he angled the camera to the right-hand path, something moves. Crawling out from the bushes is a figure that doesn't move like an animal or a person, low to the ground, twisted, and disturbingly human in shape. It pauses just long enough to be seen clearly before continuing forward. Steve doesn't wait to understand what he's looking at. He immediately turns the bike around and speeds off the way he came, breathing hard as the forest stays unnaturally silent behind him. He later said he didn't stop riding until he reached a populated road, convinced that whatever he saw wasn't supposed to be out there at all. Ethan had woken up suddenly in the middle of the night to the sound of footsteps moving around outside his bedroom. At first, he thought it was just his imagination, but when they didn't stop, he grabbed his phone and started filming in complete darkness to prove what he was hearing. This is what he captured.
Oh my god, guys. I don't know what the going on. I just woke up. There's like footsteps. Listen to this shit, can y'all hear it? What? Oh hell no, what the fuck was that, dog? Pull up. Alright, yo, I gotta check this shit out. What the hell? Nobody out here. Nobody out here, what the f? I gotta go get my mom. Oh, what the?
The video is almost pitch black, with only faint outlines visible, but the sound is unmistakable with slow, deliberate footsteps echoing just beyond his door. Then, something drops outside the room, a small clatter that makes Ethan jolt. He quickly turns the light on and steps out into the front yard, filming as he looks around. Nobody's there. The entire place is now empty and silent. Still recording, he turns back toward his room, clearly shaken. But as he walks in, the camera catches something horrifying. For a brief second, a completely blacked out face peeks around the edge of the doorway, watching him, before instantly pulling back out of sight. Ethan gasps, the phone shakes, and the clip ends there. It's one of those moments where even though the light is on, the darkness feels closer than ever. After hearing strange noises coming from his garage late at night, a man decided to grab his phone and start recording to see if he could figure out what was going on. The moment he walked in, something immediately seemed off. The attic door above was hanging open, even though he was certain it had been closed earlier that evening. Instinctively, he began to record.
Holy shit. What the? I heard a noise, and I came out here and this door was open and now it just shut by itself. Light. What the? Oh, I'm scared out of my freaking mind. Jesus Christ. There's nobody up here.
He points the camera up toward it, filming in silence for a few seconds before the attic door suddenly slams shut on its own. A loud thud echoes through the garage, followed by the unmistakable sound of scuttling footsteps moving across the ceiling, as if something, or someone, was scurrying around up there. Gathering his nerves, he slowly pulls the string to open it again. The light flickers on, casting a pale glow into the attic above. He climbs up the ladder, still filming, expecting to find an animal, or maybe even an intruder. But when he reaches the top, there's nothing. No movement, no sound, just an empty attic filled with dust and boxes. Whatever had just shut the door and ran across the ceiling had vanished without a trace. After the video started gaining attention online, some viewers decided to take a closer look at the footage from the attic scene. What they discovered made the entire situation far more unsettling. One fan brightened the video frame by frame to see if anything had been hiding in the shadows, and what appeared was chilling. Take a look.
What the hell is this shit? I did not see it. I had no freaking idea until y'all started screenshotting the shit. But I took the video and I brightened it up. So if you want to see it, here it is. I got this light on because the last time, I think it was when the freaking motion detected, I turned the freaking light on when after I went up there and looked. That's what some people were asking, why the light was on when the attic door rattled. That was why. And yeah, I know some of y'all are disappointed because I didn't have the freaking camera pointed right at the door. But the reason why I put the camera in the attic was because y'all said y'all saw something saw like a person up there, so I pointed the camera into the attic. You know what I mean? I didn't know that the door was gonna freaking rattle. I can't see the future, and I don't have a time machine to go back and point it at the freaking attic door. And people are saying, no, get a second camera. Okay, maybe I will. I don't know. But like, y'all need to chill. Who gives a fuck about the damn door, man? There's a freaking shadow figure, ghost, whatever, the fuck in my fucking attic.
On the far side of the attic, partially obscured by the dim lighting, a faint human-like figure can be seen standing perfectly still. Its body is dark and hazy, almost blending into the background, but the outline is unmistakable, and it looks like a person watching him from across the room. The man never reacted to it in real time, meaning he had no idea it was even there while filming. Many who've analyzed the footage believe it wasn't a person at all, but rather a full-bodied apparition caught by pure accident. Whatever was in that attic with him wasn't just making noise, but it was standing right there the entire time, ready to frighten its victim. Leandro had been hearing strange knocking sounds coming from one of the rooms in his house, so he decided to start recording to figure out what was causing it. The camera captures him, standing in the hallway, staring at the door as the knocking continues. What happens next is simply unexplainable, so have a watch.
Me acaban de cerrar la puerta en la cara, pero no llegué a grabarlo. Se escucha la puerta del baño. Se me acaban de reír en la cara. Mostrate. Yo ya no te tengo miedo, ¿vale? Reíte. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde carajo estás? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Mostrate acá. Dale.
After a few seconds, the door suddenly creaks open on its own, the sound slow and eerie as it swings inward. Leandro steps closer. He cautiously walks inside, only for another door in the same room to also close with no visible force applied, followed by what sounds like a faint giggle, which is high-pitched and childlike. He freezes for a moment before opening that door, revealing a small, private bathroom. The shower curtain inside is gently swaying, moving as if someone had just brushed past it. Heart pounding, he walks over and yanks the curtain back, but there's no one there. When he turns around, the camera catches something even stranger. his large teddy bear sitting on the bed, its head now tilted downward as if watching him. In a follow-up post, Leandro explained that he believes the teddy was the source of the haunting and has since sold it, hoping whatever was attached to it left with it. Emily was out on a late-night food delivery shift when she came across something that left her completely shaken. She was delivering an order to a quiet suburban home, the kind of place that looked totally normal from the outside. Little did she know how much the interior contested this.
Hello?
Hello?
I have your DoorDash order.
Can you put it on the stool, please?
I'm not really supposed to come into houses.
It's just inside the door.
It doesn't really
not far.
matter how far it is. I'm not supposed to.
Please? It would make it easier for me.
It's just kind of... Can't you just come to the door? It's just kind of a safety hazard for me to come in the house.
No, I can't come to the door. Can you put it on the stool?
Okay,
It's easy, it's just inside.
I'll just leave it here. I'm not allowed to come inside, and I will not come inside.
Come on, you fucking bitch. It's not hard.
Yeah, no.
She sets the bag down by the front door and steps back to take a photo for proof of delivery when the door suddenly opens on its own. Confused, Emily calls out a polite hello, and to her shock, a voice from inside calmly replies with a hello back. She explains she has a DoorDash order for the homeowner, but the voice interrupts, telling her to put it on the stool just inside the doorway. Emily hesitates and refuses, saying she can't enter the house. The unseen woman insists again, her tone growing sharper, saying it makes it easier for her. Emily nervously repeats that she can't, but the voice suddenly snaps, calling her names and saying it's not that hard. At that point, Emily quickly places the bag down on the doorstep and hurries away from the house, visibly shaken. Later, she said that when she checked the app, the customer had already marked the order as delivered, yet no one was ever seen in the doorway. Comment what you think this mystery was caused by. In this next clip, a group of 3 friends, including someone named Kuma, were exploring their office late at night, which they believed to be haunted, when something strange started happening on camera. They were casually walking down the stairs, talking quietly, when one of them noticed something floating in front of them, and it was very weird.
It all started when we talked about paranormal beings. We decided to follow it.
Here. Bear, explain this, man.
Bro, it just turned a fucking corner. Miss you forever too, and it came out of nowhere.
It then started to follow us after we cut it off.
The entire time, I'm gonna need that video from you. Looking at the stop coming over here. Literally looking at the ceiling. I was staring at the ceiling the whole time because it's a cool ceiling.
Like, because it's got the orb, the whole.
Yeah, it's got the. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Let it do its thing.
I see it going from a 2-shower to 1 shower.
Whoa. You guys see the force on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fucking troll.
At first, it looked like dust, or maybe a piece of fabric caught in the air, but as they kept filming, it became clear this wasn't moving naturally at all. The faint shape began to drift upward, slowly twisting and floating in circles as if it had a mind of its own. There was no wind source anywhere, with no open windows, no fans, nothing that could have caused that kind of motion. The three friends watched in stunned silence before deciding to follow it further down the stairs, hoping to figure out what it was. Whatever it was seemed almost aware of them, changing direction just slightly each time they got close. This was only the beginning of what they caught that night, making it an easy setup for what's coming next. After following the strange floating shape for several minutes, the group eventually lost sight of it somewhere near the lower floor of the building. They started to think maybe it had drifted out of view, or that the moment was over, until something even weirder happened.
Are you gonna come join us, or are you gonna go downstairs? Bro, watch there be like some little kid or something back here. I'm gonna fucking flip my shit.
As Kuma panned the camera toward the barrier that led downstairs, a new white wisp suddenly appeared, gliding across the far end of the room with a smooth, eerie motion. It wasn't fast or random, and it moved like it was deliberately crossing their path. The group fell silent again, realizing whatever they were seeing wasn't just a trick of the light. Then, as Kuma turned the camera back toward the staircase, the same balloon they had been following earlier was now floating upward again, slowly rising toward them from below. It was as if it had come back on its own, perfectly timed with the other apparition's movement. What started as simple curiosity had turned into something much more unsettling that none of them could explain. For anyone new here, this is Ian, the Midwest ghost hunter, who's been exploring what's known as one of the most paranormally active sites he's ever visited, the abandoned factory. In this video, filmed at the same location as his previous investigations on this channel, Ian is exploring to see what his camera can capture. Little did he know it would be something so bizarre.
Looks like on the inside, you can still see like all the different remnants from when this place was just a factory. It's like a factory of horrors. Whoa. Oh my God. I heard a noise over there, and of course, it's gotta be nearby all the scary mannequins. Oh God. Looks like a congregation over there. Like a cult gathering. Did someone just make a noise over here? I swear to God, I just heard you. Man, if one of these frickin' things moves, I'm done. I'm out of here. Oh wow, they even got Wizard of Oz theme over there. If there's anyone over here, could you? What the hell was that? It sounded like something moved over here. Did you just move one of these mannequins? Could you move one right now? Any one of these. No. Oh. Dude! That thing just freaking started rocking! Oh, no.
As he walks through the dark, echoing hallways, he describes the place as a factory of horrors, the kind of building that feels wrong the moment you step inside. Eventually, he enters one of the strangest rooms yet, A large space filled with mannequins standing in rows, like some kind of forgotten display or a prop cult frozen in time. The camera captures the unsettling silence as Ian scans the room, when suddenly a loud metallic clang breaks through from somewhere nearby. He jumps slightly, turning toward the noise, but nothing moves. Then, faint scuttling sounds begin, like something shifting just out of sight between the mannequins. Ian steadies the camera, calling out to whatever might be there, even asking it to move one of them if it can hear him. A few seconds pass before one of the mannequins starts rocking gently, as if something had brushed against it. Ian whispers in disbelief, realizing this wasn't the wind or vibrations, it was a direct response. Subscribe if you want to see what happens when he comes back to the channel for the next part of this terrifying investigation. The following video begins with the camera shaking slightly, the person behind it clearly nervous. A young woman is filming inside her bathroom after noticing something strange. The toilet paper roll swaying on its own, and the blinds shifting as if a breeze was pushing through, even though the window is closed.
I don't remember fucking opening that. What the fuck is that? Okay. Oh shit. What the fuck is that? Fuck. What the fuck is that? Why? That's on the outside. What honestly is that? What honestly is that? I can use which. What the fuck is? It's on the outside. It's on the outside. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm hard. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Once she starts to record, she moves closer, her breathing quick, whispering to herself as she reaches for the blinds to check behind them. There's nothing there, just an empty window. She turns the camera back toward the window, and that's when it happens. 3 distinct finger marks suddenly drag themselves across the surface, leaving behind white scratch-like streaks, as if something unseen had swiped at it. The sound is faint, but sharp, enough to make her jump back. She slams the blinds shut, muttering nervously before quickly walking out of the bathroom. The clip ends abruptly, the camera still trembling, and whatever made those marks remains completely unseen. Ellen had been home alone that night when the knocking started. At first, it was faint, but then it grew louder, more desperate, like someone begging to be let inside. The camera shakes slightly in his hands as he walks through the dimly lit hallway toward the front door, his voice trembling as he whispers that he's scared.
Pensé que ya lo había visto todo, pero... Oh my God. Pero... esto es lo que está sucediendo en estos momentos. Sonidos y gritos extraños. Y ahora la puerta. Como pueden ver, estoy completamente solo. No sé a qué me estoy enfrentando, pero tengo mucho miedo, mucho miedo. Vamos a ver qué es lo que podemos captar. No sé si ustedes logran ver algo o logran ver a ver qué o quién está haciendo estos ruidos, ese llanto. Son las 4:45 de la madrugada Y... No, nada más esto me faltaba. No manches.
The knocking continues in sharp bursts until he finally reaches for the lock and hesitantly opens the door. For a moment, there's only silence, and then soft crying can be heard from outside. The sound is faint but heart-wrenching, echoing through the empty street. Ellen freezes, then quickly shuts the door again, locking it tightly and backing away. He tries to calm his breathing as he walks off, clearly in a state of distress and nerves. But before he can reach his room, a low, eerie whistling begins from behind the door, slow and deliberate, as if whoever or whatever was out there knew he was listening. The clip cuts there, ending with Ellen running toward his room in pure panic. Sophie had been feeling uneasy all day after hearing strange noises in her room, the kind that made her question if someone else was there. To calm down, she stepped outside with a ball, kicking it gently across the yard while trying not to look back at the house. The camera follows her as she walks further away, her tone light but nervous. She must have been starting to feel better at least.
I'm like really paranoid right now. Ew, it smells weird in my mouth. Oh, that just went. Hello? Oh no, I'm out. I'm done. That's it. I'm out. No.
About a minute and 16 seconds into the recording, a faint whisper can be heard calling her name. The most frightening part is that it isn't just any voice, it's her own, perfectly matching her tone and pitch, but coming from behind her near the house. She freezes instantly, the ball rolling to a stop beside her foot. The whisper repeats, softer this time, almost teasing. Without hesitating, Sophie sprints back toward the house, the camera shaking wildly as she fumbles for the door. She rushes inside, slams it shut, and locks it, her breathing heavy. Who knows if she truly escaped whatever this was that night, but what we do know is she is too frightened to inform her parents. Late one night, Wyatt was sitting on his bed when his dog suddenly started barking toward the window. At first, he thought it was just another animal outside, but the dog's behavior quickly turned strange. It wasn't looking out the window. It was staring just beside it, inside the room.
It has been freaking me out for about 15 minutes. I know, dude. What's going on? What are you seeing? And something's been spooking him. He's jumping around. This dude. What are you seeing? Why don't you back up? Charlie. I know. Calm down. It's okay. What are you seeing? You're freaking me out, buddy. Do we need to go? Should we go, Bubba? You tell me when it's time to go. 'Cause I don't know what you're looking at, but when we need to go, you let me know, buddy. What's freaking you out, bub? Okay. Should we go? Yeah? You leave when we gotta go. As soon as you walk out, I'll be right behind you.
Wyatt aimed the camera in that direction, but nothing could be seen. The dog, however, wouldn't stop growling, its fur raised and tail tucked low, letting out uneasy whines between low rumbles. Wyatt tried to calm it, gently saying it was okay, but the dog's focus stayed fixed on something above eye level, as if whatever it saw was tall and standing against the wall. The tension builds until Wyatt nervously asks his dog if it wants to go. That's when it happens. A faint, unmistakable male voice answers softly from the direction of the window. It says, yes, but in a tone that's quiet and almost playful. Wyatt doesn't actually realize the ghost replies, whilst the dog slowly backs away, still growling at the empty space. The clip ends there, leaving the voice unexplained. A woman had started filming after hearing footsteps echoing faintly through her house late at night. Her voice is quiet, unsure, as she moves from room to room, trying to figure out where the sounds are coming from. She eventually stops outside the bathroom with an evident suspicion that it may be involved with the haunting. The air feels heavy, and for a few seconds, everything goes still. She steps inside the bathroom, looking around with the camera pointed toward the mirror and shower, but nothing seems out of place. Then, just as she's about to turn the camera off, something subtle happens. Exactly 1 minute into the video, a clear shadow passed across the railings of the stairs ahead of her, and it was moving smoothly as if someone had just walked by. The woman didn't notice it at the moment, but when she reviewed the footage later, that shadow confirmed what she'd feared all along. She hadn't been alone in the house that night. Misty had decided to post a follow-up video after her previous paranormal clip gained a lot of attention. In this one, she slowed the footage down to show what really happened. It was from her baby cam facing the crib where her youngest was sleeping, while her older son's bunk bed was left vacant due to him being at football practice.
Hey y'all, I see all of your comments coming through. I had no idea that this video was going to blow up like it did, so I have not been able to respond to everybody. A lot of you had said that the video was too fast for you to see anything, so I'll include it on here with it slowed down. I still have no idea what happened or what that was. I left the house today. My son had a football game and my mother-in-law was here. She lost internet for like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. That was really the only weird thing that happened while I was gone for her. And that's all I have. It was a 4-second video. As soon as I saw that object appear on the top of the bunk bed, I just threw my phone and camera and I just went running up there. So I just really didn't get much longer of a video than that. I will see how tonight goes and see what we need to do further if it's nothing or if it ends up being something. So have a good night.
For a few seconds, everything looks peaceful until a strange shadow-like object suddenly pops out from the side of the bunk. It moves quickly, almost like it's crawling or leaning forward, before vanishing just as fast as it appeared. Misty immediately ran upstairs when she first saw it live, convinced something was in the room, but when she got there, nothing was out of place. No one else was upstairs, and her baby was sound asleep. Thankfully, the baby was completely fine, but the slowed-down footage made it impossible to ignore that something unexplainable had definitely appeared beside the crib. After the slowed-down footage went viral, a lot of people in the comments wanted to know more about the room itself, so Misty decided to vlog the entire space to clear things up. She started by explaining that the baby had been moved into this room recently from what was now her home office. From the start of the video, she admits she always feels uneasy there, saying it's hard to even breathe when she walks inside. Take a look at what happens when she plucks up the courage to enter, though.
Okay, a lot of y'all were asking about the room situation, so I'm gonna run that through real quick. We moved my daughter from this room into this room. She got new furniture. That's why the bunk bed is still in there. Then we moved the baby from my office, which used to be her bedroom, now it's my office again, up into this room. So this is the attic that's in between the rooms that I was talking about that's cracked. It's been that way for a while, so it's not something that I'm overly concerned about, but y'all have got me freaking out in the comments. I cannot even breathe walking in this room, so I am truly terrified, but I'm gonna walk y'all in here real quick. This is the bunk bed. This is where I took her out of her crib, ran up the bunk bed. There was nothing up there when I came. We have her rocking chair, her changing station, her closet with all of the stuff that we still need to put up. This is where I have everything that was gifted. I know a lot of y'all were saying check stuff that came from a thrift store or that wasn't yours because it might be causing it. I will show you guys up here. There's nothing suspicious. There's no hair from like a rat or something that could have came in. This is marker. These are still tucked in on the sides, like they're still tight from, you know, if somebody was trying to be underneath the blankets. I don't think that's plausible, so I don't know. I have no idea what could be causing it. Oh my God, it's rocking.
She turns the light on and shows that nothing seems unusual at first. The crib sits quietly in the corner, and she points up to the top bunk to prove there's nothing up there either. Everything appears normal, but as she's talking, something subtle shifts in the background. The small chair next to the bed begins to rock gently on its own. Misty freezes, the camera shaking slightly as she realizes what's happening. The chair keeps moving, slow but deliberate, as if someone invisible had just stood up from it. The clip cuts off as she lets out a loud scream and starts her escape from the room, ending the video abruptly. In the next video, Misty is sitting in the living room doing her daughter's hair, trying to get back to normal after everything that had happened. She's chatting softly to her, laughing here and there, and for the first few seconds, everything feels calm.
Mom, how'd you sleep last night?
Good, but Avery woke up a lot last night.
Oh, Avery slept with me. How would you have heard her wake up? She slept all night.
There was music playing from her room. You guys were like laughing.
Are you sure you weren't dreaming?
I don't think I was dreaming. I got like no sleep.
Sorry, baby.
Oh, it's Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
You already awake?
Yeah.
How was your night?
Sissy said that Avery kept her up all night because she said she heard her like laughing and playing and music going in her room.
Didn't you have her in the room? That's not our room.
Yeah, I had Avery last night.
Yeah, you have some crazy dreams or?
That's what I said.
I'm just gonna call, make sure you're awake and getting ready. I love you. I'll call you later, okay?
Love you.
Okay, bye.
Then, around 11 seconds in, a faint voice can be heard over the background noise. It's quiet, but clear enough to make out. It says, "Hey." Misty doesn't seem to notice it right away, but viewers caught it instantly and flooded the comments asking who else was in the room. She later confirmed that it was just her and her daughter home at the time. No one else had been in the house, and the voice hadn't come from the TV or her phone. After hearing it back herself, Misty admitted she's now looking into how to sell the house altogether, saying she can't shake the feeling that whatever was in there isn't finished with them yet. A guy is lying on his bed in the next clip, breathing heavily as he films himself, and explains he's been hearing knocking sounds coming from his closet for the past few minutes. He's clearly scared, but trying to stay calm, talking quietly while keeping the camera pointed toward the closet door.
I just heard knocking from the closet.
The moment he mentions the knocking, a loud, sharp knock echoes from inside the closet, so loud that he jumps and freezes in place. He slowly gets out of bed and walks toward it, breathing deeply as he inches closer. Just before his hand reaches the handle, another knock hits the door, this one quicker and just as forceful, almost like whatever's inside is responding directly to him. He swings the door open and films every corner of the closet, but it's completely empty. No movement, no shadows, nothing out of place. He steps back into the hallway, trying to process what just happened, when suddenly the door across from the closet slams shut on its own. He spins around in panic, but the room is empty. No one there. This entire sequence makes it seem like whatever was knocking wasn't confined to the closet at all, and it wasn't done trying to get his attention. Celsa set up a CCTV camera in her daughter's room because something had been keeping the little girl awake night after night, and they wanted to finally see what was going on. The footage she shared was recorded just before 6 in the evening, long before bedtime, which made what happened even stranger. The room looks completely normal at first, sunlight still coming through the curtains, but every few seconds, small orbs drift across the frame, floating in different directions, as if they have their own movement. Her daughter is lying on the bed, fast asleep, totally unaware of what the camera is picking up. Then, right at the end of the clip, the duvet at the foot of the bed pulls downward in a single, smooth tug. The girl doesn't move, and nothing is visible touching it. The blanket shifts a few inches, as if someone grabbed it from below, then it settles back into place. There's no one in the room with her, and the orbs from earlier make the moment feel even more unsettling. For Celsa, this confirmed that her daughter wasn't imagining things, and something in that room might actually be interacting with her when no one else is around. Here's where things get even stranger. A second CCTV camera in the living room was recording close to 9 at night, and this time the entire house was empty. There's no movement on the furniture, no shadows passing by, nothing that should be causing any disturbances. But in the hallway beyond the living room, something small keeps peeking out every so often. It leans into view for a split second, almost like a head or a tiny figure, then pulls back into the darkness. It happens repeatedly throughout the footage, always quick enough that you'd miss it if you weren't watching closely. With nobody home and nothing in the house that could explain it, the hallway sightings left Celsa even more convinced that whatever tugged the duvet upstairs might be moving freely through other parts of the home too. In the final clip of the saga, Celsa's daughter is asleep again, this time in the middle of the day. It's just after 1 in the afternoon, bright outside. Nothing that should make the room feel unsettling at all. But then something strange happens, so take a look. The camera is pointed at the bed the same way as before. Everything is calm at first. Then something beside her shifts in a way that's different from the earlier tug caught on camera. Something small seems to move across the fabric, almost like a tiny eye twitching for a moment before disappearing. It's impossible to tell exactly what it is, but the motion is clear, and it isn't the girl, who stays completely still the whole time. The movement is subtle but unmistakable, the kind that makes your stomach drop, because it shouldn't be happening at all. After everything else caught in this house, this final clip feels like the most direct sign yet that something is actually on the bed with her, even in broad daylight, and whatever has been disturbing her hasn't gone anywhere. A man was out in his backyard when he noticed something moving deep in the woodlands behind his house. Something subtle enough that at first he thought his eyes were playing tricks on him, but when it happened again, he pulled out his phone and started filming just in case.
Hi, it's me again. I'm just calling just to let you know. I've seen that thing again in the backyard. I've got the camera on. I'm trying to capture it. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to see if I can get it. Anyway, give me a call when you get this message. Bye. No! What is that? No way. No. What is that? No way. Yeah, it's me. I've just seen that thing. I've actually got it on camera. I'll show you when you get home. Give me a call as soon as you get this message.
After a few seconds of watching from the yard, he decides to rush back inside and run upstairs for a better angle from the window. When he zooms in from the second floor, that's when he finally catches it clearly enough to make his voice go shaky. Something strange glides across the tree line. Not solid, not fully visible, but not invisible either. It looks like a distortion in the air, the way heat waves ripple, except this moves with purpose, almost shaped like someone walking, but completely transparent. You can see the trees through it, yet the outline is unmistakable as it drifts between them. It doesn't behave like an animal or a shadow, and it's too defined to be a camera glitch. The man stays silent for a few seconds, before calling someone and letting them know. But whatever it is just keeps moving until it fades behind the thicker trees. Whatever was in those woods wasn't trying to hide, but it definitely wasn't something he could understand. A group of friends were hanging out home alone for the night, just talking and messing around, when they suddenly heard something fall in one of the rooms down the hall. At first they laughed it off, but when it happened again they all went quiet and called out hello, asking if someone was there, even though they knew nobody else was in the house. The noises kept coming in short bursts, like objects shifting around on their own, so they finally grabbed a phone and decided to check it out together.
¿Están escuchando? Soy yo. Se están escuchando mazo de ruidos, tú. Yo vine del baño.
No vayas, estás loco,
Hermano.
¿Qué es lo que quiere que vayas?
Vale,
venga, poco a poco, tío. Una polla.
Una polla.
Una polla. No.
Ocho, para.
Para internet, hermano, ¿qué haces? ¿Estás loco?
Se está escuchando y tu hermano.
Escúchame, pon internet ahí, hermano.
¿Hola?
Una polla. Hermano, esto da mucho mal rollo,
¿Hay alguien ahí?
No.
Hermano.
Tira, vamos a ver lo que.
Pero, hermano, no.
Espérate un poco más. Tira. Asoma la cámara. Espérate. Espérate lo que hay, Vale, ahí no hay nada. Nada ahí. ¡Hostia puta!
¡Corre, hermano! ¡Corre! What the fuck?
They peek round the bathroom door, slowly, joking nervously as they film. But the second the camera tilts toward the bath, their voices drop instantly. Reflected in the glass is an uncanny face staring back at them, not shaped like any of theirs, not human in a way that makes your stomach twist. The eyes look too wide, the smile too sharp, and it's in a place where nobody in the group was physically standing. One of them runs away in pure panic before they all sprint back down the hallway. Whatever they caught in that room wasn't a prank, and it wasn't any of them. It was something else watching them from the darkness of the bathroom. Jason was trying to grab a late bite at the subway inside Memorial Hospital, a place that already had a reputation for ghost sightings over the years. Nurses had talked about strange footsteps, flickering lights, and even a little girl seen wandering the halls long after visiting hours. Jason didn't really believe any of it, but while waiting for a member of staff to show up, he decided to film the empty place just to show how eerie the place was.
Alright, we're at Subway at Memorial Hospital, and there's been reports of ghost activity. Maybe we'll get lucky and capture a ghost. It's ghost of a little girl. Oh my god, there she was!
For the first few seconds, nothing happens, just the hum of the machines and the glow of the fluorescent lights. Then out of nowhere a blur sprints across the frame, low to the ground, and fast enough that you only catch the shape for a moment before it disappears behind a counter. Jason jumps, but there's nobody there at all. No footsteps, no signs of movement, no child in sight. The blur almost resembles a small figure, and with the hospital's old stories about a little girl spirit roaming the cafeteria after dark, people started calling this clip the clearest proof yet. Whatever rushed past Jason wasn't a customer, wasn't a worker, and definitely wasn't human. A man was home alone while his daughter slept in the next room, editing something on his phone, when he suddenly heard a single piano key echo from his daughter's playroom. He grabbed his camera and walked quietly toward his daughter's room first, making sure she hadn't gotten up, but she was still fast asleep, and nothing seemed out of place. He waited in the doorway, listening, trying to convince himself it was just settling wood or a toy shifting.
It always gets crazy when I'm here by myself, or when my daughter's sleeping. What? See? I told you. I want her piano again. Hello? See, there's her piano. Don't mind her room. She has so many damn toys. You gotta clean up like every day in here. Hello? But at least y'all caught that part. Yo. Nope, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. Shut that. I'm telling you, every time I'm here by myself, man. See, look, her piano's still going off in there, man.
Then the piano plays itself again, a different note this time, loud enough to make him flinch. Before he can even react, a toy robot sitting on the trampoline beside the piano suddenly activates on its own, even though nobody touched it. The man doesn't wait to see what happens next. He turns around instantly and walks straight out of the room, clearly done with whatever had just decided to wake up in the middle of the night. A man was at home one night, casually watching TV, when he decided to start filming because something strange had started happening. The overhead light in his living room began flashing on and off at slow, rhythmic intervals, almost like a signal.
Vean cómo empezó a ser el foco de mi recámara. Prende y se apaga. No sé qué pasó. Estoy viendo la tele y de repente no sé qué pasó, se apagó la luz. Otra vez apagó la luz. Voy a buscar la linterna. Se apagó la tele. Aquí está la linterna. ¿Qué está pasando? No mames, no mames. ¿Qué es eso? Por Dios. ¿Qué es eso? Se apagó. Mi celular. Mi celular. Mi celular. Traigo mi celular. Está prendido allá abajo. Está prendido allá abajo. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Se prendió la luz. Se está apagando la luz. Se está prendiendo la luz.
He pointed his camera toward the TV, narrating nervously as both the television and the light suddenly turned off at the exact same moment, plunging the room into silence. Grabbing a flashlight, he asked out loud what was going on, his voice shaky. Just then, the door across from him creaked open by itself, revealing the dark outline of a womanly figure standing beyond it. The figure didn't move, but its presence was enough to send a jolt of fear through him. After gathering himself, he slowly backed away, turned, and made his way downstairs with the flashlight in hand. His breathing grew louder as he picked up the pace, eventually sprinting out the door and into his car. He explained at the end that he wouldn't be going back into that house for at least a week. footage captured a routine call that turned into something far stranger. Questioning a woman outside her 3-room home after she reported what she believed to be a burglary. She explained her reasons for suspicion, and they sounded very believable, so the officers requested permission to search the property. She agreed, staying outside while they went in.
How's it going? What seems to be the problem?
I left for a while to go shopping, and when I came home, the door is open. I think somebody broke in.
Does anyone live in the house?
Yes, my husband, myself, and our 2 kids, but they're out of town right now. They're with his parents.
And how many rooms do you have?
2 upstairs and 1 downstairs.
All right, we're gonna have to go and search the house. Is it okay if we go in?
Yeah, of course.
You don't have any like pets or dogs or anything?
No.
Right. Just stay here, man. Police! If anyone's here, make yourself known. Police! Anyone inside? I'm gonna check downstairs, you get upstairs. Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known. Downstairs clear. Upstairs clear? Yeah, we're good.
Flashlights swept across the darkened rooms as they knocked on doors and announced their presence, receiving no reply. One officer entered a bedroom and inspected a cabinet, only to catch one of its doors slam shut on its own a few seconds later. He checked the adjoining bathroom and found it empty. The officers split up to cover more ground. The body cam shows the POV officer heading upstairs, where the door at the top slowly pushed itself wider, as if someone invisible was waiting for him. He cautiously entered, scanned the room, and found nobody. As he stepped back into the hallway, the door opposite creaked open even further, repeating the unsettling pattern. Once again, the room was empty. After thoroughly checking every space and finding no signs of forced entry, the officers returned outside to inform the woman. She was left shaken but relieved no intruder was found, though the officers admitted what they witnessed inside was deeply unsettling. She decided to stay with family for the night and planned to have someone bless the house in the coming days. Noah had always joked about the piano ghost living in his house, ever since the old upright piano had arrived as a family heirloom, and it would frequently play by user, with the seat even moving. But one afternoon, he found something even more abnormal. Sitting on the piano's music stand was a handwritten note addressed to him. It claimed to be from the piano ghost itself, saying it had been practicing a special song and left clear instructions on how to let it play without interference. Intrigued and excited to see what musical ability the ghost had to offer, Noah followed the instructions.
Sorba. Hey, say hi to Jackson, Haven, and Harper. Hey kiddos, it's Uncle Noah. I wanted to let you know I got home last night and I saw a letter from the piano ghost to you guys. I've already read it, but I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, oh gosh, this handwriting is so bad. It says, Dear Haven, Harper, and Jax, I heard y'all are coming to see Noah and Lindsay for Christmas. So I've been practicing a little song to play for y'all. I'll play a little bit of it for you now. I hope you enjoy it. Here are your instructions. Place the letter on top of the piano, turn the piano on for me, and then back away and listen. I hope you enjoy this song, and I can't wait to play for you this Christmas. Love, the friendly piano ghost. All right, so let's see. We put the letter up, turn it on, and back away. So let's turn it on for him. And now let's watch him play. Hope he can sit on that bench. It's kind of crooked, but oh well. Oh, whoa. He's scooting it back so he can sit on it. Okay. Well, whatever works. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He's playing. Man, he's good. God, such a cool ghost. All he does is play the piano. Sweet. That was cool. Oh, I guess he's not done. Oh yeah. Rocking and rolling now. He's the best piano player I've ever heard. Alright, I'm going to quit videoing. And I'm going to leave so he can play by himself. Love you kiddos. Bye.
He placed the note on top of the piano, turned the power on, and stepped back to give it space. A few moments later, the seat in front of the piano slid out as if an invisible player had taken their place. Then the piano keys began pressing down one by one in perfect rhythm, playing a recognizable Christmas song, all on their own. The sound filled the room as Noah filmed, clearly in awe. It wasn't a recording or a trick of the light. He could see each key moving as if touched by unseen hands. According to the note, the ghost planned to perform the song for the whole family on Christmas Day, which left Noah equal parts excited and unsettled. The following footage comes from a household camera set up in the sitting room right after the family finished dinner. The room was calm and completely untouched, but little did anybody know that it wasn't going to stay that way. Near the camera, a small child's toy on the desk gives a slight twitch, so subtle you might miss it on first watch. A second later, it shifts again, more abruptly this time, scraping a few centimeters, as if nudged by an unseen hand. After a brief pause, it jolts once more, the movement sharper and impossible to blame on vibration. While the family is off-screen cleaning up, the camera catches one more startling moment across the room. From the top of a cabinet, an item tumbles down and hits the floor with a clean clack that cuts through the silence. No one is nearby, no footsteps approach, and nothing else in frame moves. The clip ends with the toy sitting crooked and the fallen object lying where it landed, a quiet room holding on to a very loud mystery. The man in our next clip was standing outside his house late at night when he began to hear faint footsteps that didn't sound like the usual neighborhood sounds. Curious and a little unsettled, he pulled out his phone and started filming to see if he could capture whatever was making the noise. Pointing the camera toward one of his windows, the audio picks up a strange rhythmic galloping sound, almost like a horse running just out of view. The noise grows clearer, echoing through the night air, and at moments, an obnoxiously loud snoring sound can be heard too, adding to the eeriness of the situation. The man stays quiet for most of the video, focusing on recording the sounds as they continue for several seconds before fading into the distance. Some who watched the footage said the noise reminded them of a horse, while others thought it sounded like distant gunfire echoing off buildings. Comment below what you think it sounds like so we can get to the bottom of it. A family was casually filming themselves, hanging out in their sitting room, everyone gathered together and chatting. It seemed like a completely normal moment, but if you pay close attention to the woman standing in the background, something unsettling happens. Her hair suddenly gets tugged back by an unseen force, sharp enough for her to immediately react and grab at it in confusion. She turns to the others and explains that the family has a ghost in the house. For context, she's actually a cousin visiting and doesn't live there. Her sudden declaration leaves everyone looking around at each other, visibly confused and unsure how to respond. Some nervously laugh it off, while others look uncomfortable, trying to figure out if she's joking or serious. The clip spread quickly online, with many viewers pointing out the clear movement in her hair and how genuine her reaction seemed. Whether it was a trick of the light or something paranormal, the moment left a lasting impression. Late one night, Dyra found herself alone in the storage facility she was renting a room in, sorting through some old belongings she'd been meaning to organize. The place was quiet, the kind of silence that makes every little sound echo down the narrow hallways. She pulled out her phone and began recording as she walked through the corridor toward her unit. You'll have to look closely to see what happened in this clip.
I'm over here at the storage, and I don't know if it's me, but y'all tell me I don't see that. Oh no. I don't know if it's just a fan like going in and out, but the f is that? Duh. I don't. Maybe I'm bugging. No, I know y'all just see that, right? Oh!
Zooming down the hallway, she caught something unsettling. A figure kept peeking around the left corner at the very end, pulling back each time as if it didn't want to be fully seen. It happened more than once, quick movements that looked too human to be a trick of the light, yet too strange for someone to actually be there. The building was supposed to be empty, and it was late enough that no staff or other customers were around. Her breathing grew shaky as she slowly made her way forward, unsure if she was dealing with a trespasser or something far worse. The footage left viewers uneasy, with many pointing out how deliberate the peeking looked, as if the figure was toying with her. After a long day at work, the victim of our next clip pulled into his driveway and immediately noticed something strange. The light in his shed was on. This wasn't the first odd thing to happen recently, and he'd started to believe his property might actually be haunted. His neighbors, however, dismissed it as the work of bored teenagers playing pranks. Determined to prove it one way or another, he pulled out his phone and started recording.
I just got home from work, and my shed light is on. Sorry, I'm spanning the yard just to make sure nobody else is out here. I spoke to my neighbor after that last video, and he said his junior high boys have been pulling pranks on people, so I think it's them. But they don't really have anywhere to go, so I'm gonna bust in here and try and catch them. I don't know what they're doing.
Hey! 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 Hey!
As he filmed the shed from a distance, the light began to flicker erratically, turning off and on in a pattern that didn't seem random. Just when it looked like it might stop, a figure appeared inside, faintly illuminated, and turned to face him. Without hesitation, he continuously yelled, "Hey!" and bolted toward the shed. But when he swung the door open, the interior was completely empty. There were no windows, no back doors, and no possible escape route for anyone to have slipped out. That moment shifted his doubts into certainty. This wasn't teenagers messing around. Whatever was inside the shed that night wasn't human. Grace was home alone when she decided to start filming a door in her house, after feeling like something was watching her from the hallway. The house was completely quiet. No TV, no music, no open windows, which only made the tension worse. She keeps the camera steady, half joking but clearly nervous, waiting to see if anything happens at all.
Oh my god. What is happening? Can't move it again. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh god. Can you close it please? Okay.
After a few seconds, the door slowly cracks open on its own before gently pulling itself shut again. Grace gasps and immediately tells whatever it is to do it again, her voice shaking as she backs up slightly. This time, the response is far more unsettling. The door begins to open much wider, nearly 3/4 of the way, inch by inch, as if something unseen is standing on the other side, carefully pushing it open. It pauses for a moment, almost like it's aware of her watching, then slowly closes itself once more. There's no rush of air, no footsteps, no explanation. After the clip ends, Grace said she left the room immediately and didn't go back down that hallway for the rest of the night. She later admitted this was the first time something in her house seemed to directly respond to her voice, and that realization scared her more than the door moving on its own. In this next clip, Leighton and 2 of his friends were just messing around outside, filming casually while throwing a bouncy ball back and forth. It's light-hearted at first, nothing serious at all, until one of them accidentally loses control of the ball and it rolls off out of view. The friend who dropped it jogs over to grab it while Leighton keeps the camera pointed in that direction.
You got the camera ready?
Yeah, dude, I got the camera, alright?
I'm gonna knock the ball out of that guy's hand.
Alright, go.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What? Oh shit, what the hell?
As the kid turns the corner to retrieve the ball, something completely unexpected happens. Out of nowhere, what looks like a human hand suddenly reaches out from around the corner and touches him. It's quick, but clear enough to see, fingers brushing against his arm before instantly pulling back out of sight. The kid jumps in shock and stumbles backward, yelling as Leighton instinctively rushes forward with the camera. He whips around the corner where the hand came from, expecting to see someone hiding there, but there's nothing. No one standing there, no place anyone could have ducked into fast enough. The area is completely empty. The moment was so sudden and so physical that it left all 3 of them panicking, trying to figure out how a hand could appear without a body attached to it. Whatever touched him wasn't visible for more than a split second, but it was real enough to send them all running moments later. In the following video, Tim, a night security guard who's worked at the same building for years, finally decides to start recording after insisting the place has always felt off. He mentions that strange things usually happen during power outages, and unfortunately for him, this night was no exception.
Hello?
As he films one of the mannequins standing motionless in the dark hallway, faint noises suddenly echo behind him. Tim turns around, shining his flashlight just in time to catch something truly unsettling. An uncanny, human-shaped figure is seen in the darkness, its arms stretched out unnaturally, and its face completely swallowed by shadow. The moment Tim calls out hello, trying to make sense of what he's seeing, the figure silently slides backward and disappears into the pitch black. He quickly swings the flashlight toward where it stood, but there's nothing there at all. No doors, no hiding spots, just empty space. As if that wasn't enough, another noise comes from behind him, back near the mannequin he was filming moments earlier. Tim slowly walks back toward it, clearly shaken, and without warning, he punches the mannequin. The blackout, the figure, and the timing make this one of the creepiest encounters he's ever recorded, and it's hard to argue that something wasn't watching him that night. Smith had been completely alone in the house when they first heard something weird, a clear voice calling their name from downstairs. At first they ignored it, telling themselves it was just their imagination, but the feeling wouldn't go away. Eventually, they grabbed their phone and started recording before heading down to see what was going on.
I'm sick of this shit now.
The camera shows them entering the kitchen first, slowly panning around to prove everything looks normal. The lights are on, nothing is broken, nothing out of place. Still uneasy, they walk into the living room and sit down, trying to calm themselves and listen. That's when it happens. A few loud bangs echo through the house, close enough to make them jump. Instinctively, they rush back into the kitchen, filming the entire way. When they step inside, the scene has completely changed. The fridge door is wide open, even though it was clearly closed moments earlier, and one of the kitchen chairs is now sitting up on the counter, balanced in a way that makes no sense. Smith stops dead, breathing heavy, clearly realizing this wasn't just a noise or a trick of the mind. Whatever called their name had followed them downstairs, and it wanted to be noticed. Back in the living room, Smith keeps the camera aimed at a teddy bear, clearly shaken, but determined to document whatever is happening next. The room is quiet again, almost too quiet, and he slowly pans across the furniture, trying to show nothing has changed since the kitchen incident. That's when the camera settles on a teddy bear standing by the TV, dressed in a small Batman outfit, something that had been there for years without ever moving. As he watches, the bear begins to shift on its own, not falling suddenly, but slowly tipping forward, inch by inch, as if an unseen hand is pushing it. Smith gasps and steps back, in disbelief, as the bear leans further and further. The clip cuts just before it hits the floor, but the movement is unmistakable, deliberate, and controlled. After everything that already happened downstairs, this felt like confirmation that whatever was in the house wasn't done yet, and was now moving things right in front of him. The basement is the most likely place in a house to be haunted, and after what happened the night before, Smith was already on edge when things started again the very next day. He starts filming as loud, heavy banging echoes from the basement door, each knock slow and deliberate, like someone was trying to be let in. The camera stays fixed on the door as the banging continues, filling the hallway with a deep, hollow sound. Smith takes a shaky breath and glances away for just a few seconds, clearly debating whether to leave or keep watching. In that brief moment when the camera isn't on it, the basement door suddenly swings open on its own, slowly but completely, revealing the dark stairwell below. There's no rush of air, no one on the other side, just an open doorway leading straight down into darkness. Smith freezes, stunned, then steps closer to show there's nothing behind the door and nothing forcing it open. After the fridge incident, the chair on the counter, and the teddy bear moving on its own, this felt like escalation. Whatever was in the house wasn't just making noise anymore. It was opening doors, almost inviting him to come closer. This one takes place in a house David and his wife already believe is haunted, and that detail matters because she has known about it for a long time, while David still treats it like something he can face head-on. One night they hear rapid banging coming from the attic, sharp and aggressive enough that it immediately feels intentional rather than structural noise. David grabs the tool meant to open it and pulls the ladder down, and as soon as it drops, the sound changes into what feels like stomping above them. Heavy movement pacing back and forth until it suddenly stops. David decides to climb up anyway, trying to stay calm, but right as he reaches the top, another loud bang hits, and the attic erupts with scattered noises all around him.
Então é assim, eu estou a filmar, eu estou farta de ouvir barulhos. Já há alguns dias que ando a ouvir barulhos e não consigo nunca perceber de onde é que eles vêm. Eu estou-me a passar porque eu não consigo dormir, eu estou cheia de medo e eu decidi hoje filmar isto porque eu tenho a certeza que se passa alguma coisa e se acontecer alguma coisa vai ficar gravado. Opa! Opa! Oh, Nuno! Eu estou a dar... Calma. Fica opa. Opa! Opa! Porquê que abriste isso? Opa, ainda por cima não foste tu que apagaste a luz. Desculpa. Vais fazer, tu vais lá acima sozinho. Eu vou lá contigo. Opa, tenha cuidado. Opa! Opa! Não, tu não vais lá sozinho. Ai... Opa, olha, vai lá tu, toma, eu fico aqui, desculpa, não consigo, desculpa, eu estou cheia de medo, a sério, vai lá tu, mas tem cuidado, está bem? Olha aí, opa, tu estás a ouvir?
Espera.
Tem cuidado, vai falando comigo, falas.
Está-se bem. Calma. Estás bem?
Não, vá lá, está tudo escuro aqui abaixo, despacha-te.
Pá, não vejo nada. Aqui me parece. Estás bem aí, Joana? Caralho, o que é isto, meu? Não, nada, está tudo bem, está tudo bem.
Estás bem?
Estou bem.
Esquece.
É?
Chamamos a polícia, esquece, anda para baixo.
Não nada à polícia. Não se vê nada aqui, meu.
Então anda para baixo, esquece, fica-te uma coisa para lá. Anda lá, eu estou aqui à tua espera, vou ter que lá descer.
Fónix. O que é aquilo? Espera aí.
Não vais?
Não. Boca.
Anda lá, vá. Vamos lá para mim também, anda lá. Anda lá, por favor, eu tenho que dar a pessoa de mim, anda lá. Eu acho que eu anda lá. Anda lá, anda. Eu ajudo. Espera aí, cuidado. Anda. Espera aí, eu ajudo a descer. O que é que tu viste? Olha, mas fecha isso, fecha. Fecha isso, mas não viste alguma coisa? O que é que tem acontecido? Pá, vamos chamar a polícia. Isto não é normal, pá, eu ando a ouvir isto há dias.
His wife hands the camera to him so he can film while he looks around, and even though the sounds continue, he cannot see anything unusual at first. Then a bag sitting beside a stack of boxes behind him begins to shake, something we do not see but clearly hear, and the movement startles him enough that he spins around and immediately starts climbing back down. As he reaches the bottom, an uncanny figure briefly peeks down from the attic opening before hiding again, completely unnoticed by either of them as David shuts the attic door and the house falls quiet. A man named Roger was using a public restroom when something genuinely unsettling happened in the middle of an otherwise normal moment. He had just flushed the toilet and was getting ready to leave when he suddenly heard the sound of a stall door opening and then closing somewhere nearby. Thinking someone else had walked in, he listened for footsteps, but there were none. That's when he pulled out his phone and started recording. He lowers the camera toward the bottom of the cubicle wall, trying to catch movement beneath the stalls, but the restroom looks completely empty. No shoes, no shadows, nothing at all. Still uneasy, Roger decides to step out of the cubicle to check the door directly. As soon as he turns the corner and points the camera at it, the stall door violently slams shut on its own, echoing through the restroom. Roger yelps in shock and immediately runs out, clearly terrified. There was no one else inside, no breeze, no automatic mechanism that could explain it. Whatever opened and closed that door waited until he was right there to make itself known. Chase was staying over at his girlfriend's house when something strange happened that made him start recording. She had told him before that the place was haunted, saying you could always hear footsteps moving around upstairs, even when nobody was there. Chase never believed her, until the night that changed everything. Take a look.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always said it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
The video starts with him whispering that he's finally hearing it for himself. Faint but clear footsteps can be heard moving above him, slow and steady, like someone pacing. He walks toward the stairs, the sound growing louder with each step he takes. As he begins to climb, he pauses halfway up, shining the camera toward the landing, and asks who's up there. There's no answer, just silence and the faint creak of the house settling. Then, out of nowhere, the footsteps pick up again, this time rushing straight toward him. Chase freezes, but before he can react, something invisible seems to barrel down the stairs. He instinctively swings at the air, but nothing's there. The clip ends abruptly as he backs away, shaken, realizing his girlfriend might have been right about the house all along. The date was June the 14th of 2025. Chris decided to spend the evening at a well-known haunted forest, a place locals have claimed for years is filled with restless spirits. Armed with his ghost interaction device, he began exploring deep within the trees until he stumbled upon something eerie, an old grave marker for two people right in the center of the forest.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, buddy. It's nice to talk to you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. It just said Jonathan, bombings 1920s. You are amazing. Mortuary. Right. It just said right. And that's John. I mean, you would think if his full name was Jonathan, they put Jonathan, right? But it just said Jonathan. Bombings, 1920s, right. And Nightmare. Lifetime. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's wild, bro. Wild. We've been so connected lately. I don't know what it is, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
As he asks questions through the device, the faint shape of a white wisp can be seen gliding behind the grave, moving slowly through the darkness before fading away. Chris continues speaking calmly, asking if anyone is there with him, and then the device suddenly responds with 2 clear words: "You're amazing." The moment leaves him speechless. Whether it was meant as kindness or mockery, it confirmed that something out there was definitely aware of him and listening. Who knows if it was one of the men who appeared on the grave. Filming from her bed late at night, a woman in Houston began recording her closet after claiming it had opened on its own just a few minutes earlier. She had recently gotten up, closed it, and returned to bed, but she decided to start filming in case it happened again. The room was quiet, the only sound being the faint hum of the air conditioner as she kept the camera pointed steadily at the door. What happened next was bizarre.
Well, the door opened up a few minutes ago, so while I was laying down, so we're gonna see if it's gonna open again. I closed it and got back in the bed, and hopefully it is shut for tonight. I just end up getting out my bed a minute ago and shutting it, so let's see. Looky. I'm in my bed, and there she goes. So I'm gonna have to end up putting a towel in it, or she's gonna keep opening it up all night. But I'm in my bed, as you can see. It's opening up again by itself.
After several tense seconds, the closet door slowly begins to pull open by itself, creaking just slightly as it moves. She gasps softly, but doesn't move, frozen as the door comes to a stop. No one else is visible in the frame, and there's no sign of a draft or string pulling it. After this, she said she's been trying to move out of the apartment entirely, convinced that whatever is in that Houston apartment doesn't want her to stay, and she would be a fool not to listen to the signs. The following footage is grainy and hard to make out, clearly filmed on an older camera, but what it captures is enough to send chills down your spine. Paul, a ghost hunter who often explores haunted places alone, was walking through a wooded area at night, with only the faint beam of his camera's built-in torch lighting the way. The crunching of leaves under his feet is constant as he scans the trees, narrating quietly to himself. Then, out of nowhere, something insane happens, so have a look.
Where's it gone? There was something there. Sure I saw something. Where is it? It was around here somewhere. It was here somewhere, but it's gone. I don't know where it is.
Out of seemingly nowhere, a white, human-like figure glides across the frame just ahead of him, its movement smooth and unnatural, almost floating rather than walking. Paul immediately swings the camera around, calling out into the darkness, but whatever it was is already gone. He searches the surrounding area, panning the light through the trees and undergrowth, but there's nothing there. No noise, no footprints, no sign of anyone else. For someone who spent years chasing the paranormal, even Paul admitted afterward that this one left him completely rattled. Who knows if he will ever spot something so clear again. The Ogden Paranormal team had decided to spend the night investigating a notoriously haunted location known as Asylum 49, a place long rumored to be one of the most active spots in the state. During one part of the investigation, two members of the team, a man and a woman, were sitting quietly in a dimly lit room, waiting to see if anything would happen, while the rest of the group monitored from another area. This is what happened.
Notice that?
Yeah, I'm scared.
It started off back there and now it's weird.
For a while, everything was completely still, the only sound being the faint hum of their equipment. Then, out of nowhere, soft noises began echoing from behind them, like distant shuffling or something moving just out of view. They both freeze, exchanging nervous glances before slowly turning around at the same time. The camera pans with them, and the place is empty, completely void of movement, yet the sound continues for another second before fading into silence again. No one else was near that room, and the team later confirmed through their static cameras that nobody had entered or left during that time, making this one of the eeriest moments from their night inside Asylum 49. A young family captured a moment that started off completely normal, but quickly took a strange turn. The clip begins with the grandmother arriving at the house, greeting her daughter-grandson at the door. The mom cheerfully asks her son if he wants to go to grandma's, and he immediately lights up with excitement, nodding and running toward the front yard. Things are wholesome until they become odd.
You ready to go, Grandma's? Come on. Let's go.
I like what you.
She's got cups. Okay. Yeah.
Dada! I'm just hanging me. Daddy hanging me.
Oh, wait.
What?
Okay. Ooh, come on, Clarence. Okay.
What, Daddy?
That's what I was just about to ask. What did you say, bud? Did you say bye to?
Bye. I said bye, Daddy.
Oh, okay.
As he walks to the right, his tone suddenly changes. He stops, looks into the distance and quietly says, "Dada," as if he's spotted someone familiar. The mom looks a little confused, since the boy's father wasn't home due to him passing away 8 years ago, but the child seems completely certain, even waving and saying "Bye, Dada," before turning back toward the car. The family later checked the footage again, and though nothing visible appears where the boy was looking, his reaction and tone were unmistakably genuine, leaving everyone wondering who or what he actually saw that day. Luke had set up a small camera to keep an eye on his cat while he was out, but what the footage ended up showing was far from what he expected. Everything seems perfectly normal at first, just a quiet kitchen with his cat lounging. Then, things start to get strange. The lamp beside the sofa suddenly flickers on, glowing unusually bright before shutting off again, then turning back on a few seconds later. It repeats this several times, almost like someone's playing with the switch, except Luke wasn't home. As the light flashes, a teddy sitting nearby begins to subtly move, its arm shifting just slightly, before an ornament placed next to it falls over completely. The cat notices immediately, jumping up and walking closer to investigate, as the lamp turns off one final time. After that, everything stops. The room goes still again, silent and undisturbed, as if nothing had ever happened. In this next clip, a woman follows her cat into a room after hearing faint children's music playing from inside, which immediately strikes her as odd, since no toys had been turned on. It's the playroom, filled with her child's things, and the cat seems unusually curious, walking straight toward the curtains near the window. As she steps in behind the car, she notices something strange. The legs of a bear plushie beneath the curtain are subtly moving back and forth, almost like they're kicking. She walks closer, trying to make sense of what she's seeing, and then pulls the curtain aside to reveal the toy lying still on the floor. It's not moving at all now. Thinking maybe she imagined it, she starts walking away, only for the bear to shift slightly again, just an inch, completely on its own. She immediately pulls it back and shows behind it with her camera, proving that nothing and no one is there. In the aftermath, she admitted the incident left her too unsettled to keep it and decided to list the toy online to sell it. A local resident had reached out to Camilla, asking her to record a cleansing of what she referred to as the death room, a space with a dark history they wanted documented for a private Facebook group. Camilla agreed to film, thinking it would just be a simple ritual and nothing more.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
The footage shows the woman standing just outside the room in front of the doorway, reading a plea for God to cleanse and protect the space. Her voice is steady, echoing softly off the walls, while Camilla keeps the camera focused on her. Halfway through the prayer, the jewelry hanging from the woman's wrist suddenly shifts and swings on its own, the small, dangly piece moving as if something invisible had brushed against it. The woman doesn't break her chant, but Camilla is shocked at what she's capturing. She's since said this is the clip she shows anyone who doubts her, insisting nothing about that moment was staged. The next video shows Camilla alone, sitting in a room that we cannot identify, explaining the story behind the now infamous death room.
A lot of you guys have seen that video, so I just want to explain it. Basically, one of the patients here asked me to record a video of her while she was anointing her room to post on her Facebook group page. It's like Catholic group page or whatever. And while she was praying, the rosary little gets yanked out of her hand. That's not even the weirdest thing that's happened there. Mind you, we all call this death room because anytime a patient goes in there, they pass away or they get sent to the hospital after they come in healthy. I can't, due to the confidentiality of the families and our respect for everybody in the patients, I'm literally not allowed to say that much. But the craziest thing that happened, and my coworker literally got a video of it. We had this therapy dog come in and it's playing with our patients, and then it literally runs away and it goes to the door of this death room, right? The death room, and it starts whimpering. This is a therapy dog, like.
You like a sucker? You ready to go take a shower? Yeah, here. It's not worth it? Where's your other sucker? You only have one? Use it. Yeah.
Really?
She begins by saying that the room got its grim nickname for a reason. Every patient who was ever placed in it eventually passed away, no matter their condition going in. Camilla's tone is serious, her voice trembling slightly as she talks about how the room has been avoided ever since. She goes on to share something even stranger, a story about the therapy dog that regularly visits the facility. According to her, the dog once left its group session on its own and walked straight to the door of the death room, where it began to whimper uncontrollably. To back it up, Camilla includes footage showing exactly that, the dog standing outside the door, crying and refusing to move closer. She explains that nobody could calm it down for several minutes, and from that day forward, it never approached that part of the hallway again. CCTV footage from the corner of the hallway outside the so-called death room would only deepen the mystery. The unsettling clip shows the corridor completely empty, save for the green flash of the call light above the door. Take a look at what happens next.
Why is it beeping? I don't know, no one's in there. That's crazy. Get the light, get the light. Is that chicken? Yes. Did you just get that on camera?
No. Stop. No, I'm not playing with you anymore. I don't like this. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
This is insane right now. Right there.
Okay, you're gonna stop this right now.
After a few seconds, the light begins to flicker on and off in short, sharp bursts, as though being triggered by something unseen. Then, without warning, the door to the room slowly swings shut by itself, the sound echoing faintly through the hall. Moments later, a few nurses are drawn by the noise and go to investigate. One of them, clearly unnerved, calls out for whoever or whatever might be there to stop. They check the room thoroughly, opening the door and stepping inside, but it's completely empty. Nothing and no one to explain what had just been caught. To this day, the death room remains one of the facility's most unsettling mysteries, one even the staff refuse to discuss in detail.